So good morning dear students. In the last video we have introduced the chapter Vector Algebra 1 and we have discussed the basic concepts and definitions of scalars and vectors and the representation of a vector and the notation for a vector and the types of vector in the last video. Okay. As the extension of that, we are going to see the operations on vectors. So what are all the operations can be performed in the vectors, that only we are going to discuss now. In which first we are going to discuss about vector addition, how to add two vectors. Vector addition is defined as the geometrical sum of two or more vectors as they do not follow regular laws of algebra. In the lower section we have studied the algebraic addition of numbers. That addition will not work out in case of vectors. So that only they do not follow regular laws of algebra. I have stated that. Okay. The result is known as the composition of a vector. If you are adding two or more vectors, then the result is known as composition of a vector. Okay. Next, condition for vector addition. You have to make a note of this condition before adding any vectors. Okay, what are the conditions? First condition, scalar and vectors can never be added. You should not add a scalar, that is a number to a vector. So we should not add a number to a vector. That is the first thing you have to remember. Next one, for any two scalars to be added, they must be of the same nature. If you are adding two scalar means they must be of the same nature. Means for example, if you are having mass, that is the magnitude of mass, then you have to add that mass with another mass. Okay, you should not add mass with time. Okay, so they should be of same nature. That is the thing. You should not add a mass with a time. Okay, you should add mass with a mass or time with a time. That is the thing you have to remember from this point. Next one. For any two vectors to be added, they must be of the same nature. For example, you have to add velocity with velocity, force with force. You should not add a velocity vector with a force vector. Okay, so you should make note that of same nature. Okay, I hope you all remember the condition to add any vectors or scalars. Then two laws of vector addition. We are going to see mainly of two laws for vector addition. The first one, triangle law of vector addition. And the second one, parallelogram law of vector addition. These two laws are very, very important for adding two vectors. So first we are going to see the triangle law of vector addition in detail. So next we are going to see the triangle law of vector addition. It is very, very important concept. You have to write the sum of two vectors using triangle law of vector addition. The statement of the triangle law of vector addition is, if two vectors are represented in magnitude and direction by the two sides of a triangle taken in order, then their sum is represented by the third side taken in the reverse order. Okay, so what is the statement says means, if two vectors are represented in magnitude and direction by the two sides of the triangle taken in order. The order is very, very important. If you want to draw the triangle, means you have to fix the first point A. You have to complete the triangle means you have to end with A. You have to start with A and you have to end with A. So that we can make the order of the vectors representing the three sides. So I am starting with A means my order is AB vector. Then I have to go from B to C. So BC vector. And I have to start from C. I have to end in A. So the order of vectors is like this only, that is AB vector, then BC vector, then the right order for you is CA vector. Okay, but the statement, when you look at the last two sentences of the statement, their sum is represented by the third sign taken in the reverse order. Actually, our order is from C to A. But the resultant of AB and BC vectors must be in the reverse order, means it will not be in the CA vector, it will be in the order AC. Okay, that is the thing you have to remember from this. Taken in the, what is that? Reverse order. The resultant is taken in the reverse order, but other two vectors are following the order. Okay, but the resultant only is in the reverse order. Reverse order means not CA vector, it is AC vector. Okay, so let me take this diagram. A vector ABC is the triangle in which A vector A is represented by the side AB, and vector B is represented by BC vector, and vector C is represented by AC vector. Okay, so let AB vector represents the vector A and BC vector represents the vector B. Then if AC vector represents the vector C, then by the triangle law of vector addition, you can write that the sum of these two vectors, that is vector AB plus vector BC, is equal to vector AC. So AB vector plus BC vector equal to AC vector. You have to remember the result. How we can able to remember the result means, you just observe that your starting point is A. Here the ending point is C. So how we are going, this is your starting point and this is your ending point. I have to go. How we can go from A to B, then B to C. So you can sum up these two things, that is AB vector plus BC vector. So I can write AC vector is equal to AB vector plus BC vector. You have to know how to write the left hand as well as right hand side. When you take the left hand side, when you observe that these 2 points are same, that is the first vector's end point is the starting point of the second vector, so that the same vectors are omitted, so we are forming the vector AC vector. Okay, so you are writing like this. So whenever the end point and starting point is same, means you can club the first point and the last point together to form the vector. So I have represented this A vector, this is B vector, which is equal to C vector. The C vector is the, what is that? Resultant of A vector and B vector. Okay. Suppose if I want to write the BA vector. Okay. So when you want to write the BA vector, means you have to note the starting point B and you have to go for the ending point A. How I can follow the order means I can start with B. So I can go BC. So my order is BC vector plus from C I can go to A. So BC vector plus CA vector. So this is nothing but the triangle law of vector addition. Okay, so for that you can write any number of results like this. If you want to write the vector, what is that? If you want to write CA vector, how we can write this? CA vector is equal to, your starting point is C and ending point is A. So you just start with the, what is that? So starting point is C. So how we can come? So CB vector. Okay, first I can come to CB vector plus, from B to A you can go. So CB vector plus BA vector. This is the expanded form using the triangle law of vector addition. You can make use of this result to any side. Okay, I have written, if you want to find the AB vector means what is the AC vector plus CB vector. Like that you can write any number of results. You have to know the expansion and also you have to know the simplified form of this vector. Okay. Next we are going to see the parallelogram law of, so next parallelogram law of vector addition. If two vectors A vector and B vector are represented in magnitude and direction by the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, then their sum C vector is represented by the diagonal of the parallelogram which is co-initial with the given vectors. Okay, which is co-initial with the given vectors. So one may take this definition that you have to fix the two adjacent sides. Whatever may be the adjacent side means you can take PQ and PS are the adjacent sides. Or otherwise you can take that PQ and QR is also an adjacent side. Okay, you can take either these two sides or otherwise this side and this side. Whatever is convenient for you, you can take. I have taken the adjacent sides as PQ and PS. One may take the adjacent sides as PQ and QR. No problem in it. Okay. So if these adjacent sides are taken, then the resultant of these two vectors are given in the diagonals of the parallelogram. Okay, what is the diagonal for this parallelogram? PR. Okay, so that one day I have written the sum of these two vectors represented by the diagonal. So C vector is equal to A vector plus B vector. So I have written C vector is equal to A vector plus B vector, and the diagonal PR vector is equal to PQ vector plus PS vector, because I have fixed the adjacent sides as PQ and PS. Suppose if you are fixing the adjacent sides like this, that is PQ and QR, then whatever may be the result, the first result remains the same. C vector is equal to A vector plus B vector, and PR vector is equal to PQ vector plus QR vector. Okay, when I am taking these two adjacent sides means the result is changing in there according to the side. When I fix these two sides as adjacent sides means accordingly the result will change. Okay, these two results are same. One may take the adjacent sides as they like. No problem in it. Okay, both of them are correct. Nothing wrong in that. With that introduction, there may be some properties, that is multiplication of a scalar with a vector and addition of vectors and subtraction of vectors are there. These are less important, and also it will be very easy to understand also. So you can refer your book and just go through the properties which are given in your book. It will be easy only. If you are having any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, so next we are going to see two important theorems, that is section formula, internal division proof. We are going to see, because that proof is very important for the examination point of view. And one more thing, the important theorem we are going to prove is the medians of the triangle are concurrent. So those two theorems we are going to prove now.